It honestly feels like for the last year, in all of these production meetings for WrestleMania, when Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and all of his fucking stooge squad shows up to these conferences, it seems like week after week, month after month, the only match they have on paper confirmed from day one is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Because everything I saw last night seems like one big schmoz that they have no idea what the fuck they are doing with anybody else. So I think that's why no matter how much people were trying to tell Vince, no, not again with Roman, Vince is like, but that's all we had. For a year now, we were proud of ourselves because we had a match on paper. It was Brock. It was Roman. That's all we have. And that was never more evident than last night. I'm going to get to all of this nonsensical, nothing makes sense booking again on Raw last night. And storylines that I thought were going to be and should have been fucking epic last night that turned out to be absolute epic failures. But I'm going to get to that in just a couple of minutes. First, I want to start off with John Cena. John Cena comes out last night, guys, and he cuts a promo again. Kind of depressed Cena, but also a rejuvenated John Cena. This is a John Cena who now has a plan. He knows what he has to do. And he starts this promo off by admitting that since he's been on Raw, he's been a failure. That's right, a failure. He looks at the Roman Reigns feud as an absolute failure. He looks at his time on Raw as a failure. He's been in and out of Raw, on and off of Raw. Shows up to the Royal Rumble. He's an absolute failure. He shows up to the Elimination Chamber. He's an absolute failure. He doesn't even make it to the end. So John Cena is basically saying, I've been one big clusterfuck of a failure on Raw. So now I know what I have to do. I'm going to go to SmackDown and see if they are any less of talent. Maybe I can beat the SmackDown guys, is basically what he's saying. He said, I know my path to WrestleMania. I have to go to SmackDown. Is that not the goofiest thing anybody has ever heard? If that is not somebody basically saying, I no longer have talent, so I'm going to go to the B leagues. Sorry, SmackDown, but that's how Vince McMahon looks at competition. But I will also say, competition, his own fucking SmackDown brand. Vince McMahon will always put Raw above SmackDown. You guys know that. So, whether SmackDown is kicking ass, SmackDown can be pulling in 6-7 point ratings, and Raw could be fiddling around in 2 and 3s. Vince will still look at Raw as the higher fucking brand, the better brand. But even if it was a SmackDown guy who said, you know what, I can't beat anybody else on this brand, I'm going over to Raw. Isn't that the equivalent to somebody in the NFL saying, you know what, my skill level sucks, I'm going back to college? It's the exact same fucking, I do not understand. Or an NBA player saying, you know what, I can't hack it with the rest of the NBA players, so I'm going to the summer leagues. Major League Baseball player can't hack it. He's going back to the fucking minor leagues. It just sounded so bad, man. John Cena basically coming out and saying, I suck now. I'm going to SmackDown and see if I can beat anyone else. That's basically what John Cena... That's what I mean. This could have been done a better way. I understand you're trying to get eyeballs over to SmackDown, but you couldn't do this any better way. You couldn't make John Cena look a little bit, save some face, look a little better in this situation. But the point is, guys, John Cena is going to SmackDown to see if he can get a path to WrestleMania. So obviously, this screams John Cena is going to confront Charlotte Flair tonight and see if he can get a crack at the Women's Championship for WrestleMania. Jokes, obviously. But you never know at WWE, man. Charlotte Flair would take him on, I bet. With the Nate in her corner. But what I honestly think is going to happen here, guys, I think we're being swerved. That's right, I think John Cena and WWE is swerving us. Somebody's following John Cena to SmackDown. John Cena's not going to go to SmackDown alone. He's not going to SmackDown alone. I don't see any viable competition for John Cena over on SmackDown. Nakamura's in a match. AJ Styles is in a match. They're in a match together. I don't want to see John Cena triple threaten this motherfucker. Please, no, absolutely not. If that ever happened, guys, you know what? We'll save that for a fucking cloudy, rainy, stormy fucking day, won't we? That'll be a video in itself. You think I got amplified before in the past? Oh, fuck, man. You do not touch Nakamura Styles. That match should be set in stone. That's one of the only things we got to look forward to that we fucking desired, dream match-wise, for WrestleMania. Leave that alone. So Styles and Nakamura, they're already fucking taken up. It looks like Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode are going to be in a little fucking mixture for the U.S. Championship. Would John Cena really go over there and mingle around in that U.S. Championship? Where they're going to make it a fatal fucking four-way for that shit? Who knows? But it doesn't look that route. John Cena doesn't fit into Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, and Jinder Mahal. What are you going to have? John Cena versus Rusev Day? Fucking, we've already seen that. What are you going to put? Some more flags on a pole? Flag on a pole match? We've already seen that. Who do they have? Guys, I honestly think The Undertaker is either showing up tonight on SmackDown or another huge seed is going to be planted for The Undertaker and by WWE for The Undertaker for this John Cena Undertaker match at WrestleMania. I still think there is a huge possibility that we're being swerved and Undertaker is still going to be John Cena's opponent because John Cena in that promo last night said, I know what I have to do. Before he said, I'm going to SmackDown, he said, I have to challenge The Undertaker at WrestleMania. The crowd went nuts. John Cena explained why it should be The Undertaker, John Cena at WrestleMania. And then, at the very end, he just said, but that match can't happen. They meaning corporate, told him it can't happen. It's impossible. Basically saying The Undertaker won't do it. But why would he honestly fucking troll everybody? Is it because everyone thought that match was going to happen from the beginning? Would you really get everyone that excited? John Cena, Undertaker, Undertaker coming back, one last match at Mania. Get everyone popping and exciting for what? John Cena versus Rusev? You're going to have John Cena versus Zack Ryder? Maybe it's a handicap match. Breezango versus John Cena, WrestleMania. Book that shit, Kevin Dunn. No. I think Undertaker is still the mainstay here. And if not, could it be somebody like Bobby Lashley, who is now under contract, it seems, with WWE? Vince wanted Bobby Lashley in time for WrestleMania. We didn't really know where he would fit. This could be a good fit. If it is in fact not going to be The Undertaker, wouldn't John Cena versus Bobby Lashley be the next badass matchup for WWE and for WrestleMania? Wouldn't you rather see John Cena, Bobby fucking Lashley than Breezango versus John Cena? John Cena versus Randy Orton, part 157? I kind of would. We'll see what Lashley has to bring to the table, man. Lashley's under contract. Vince wanted to rush this contract for WrestleMania. For what? John Cena versus Bobby Lashley. The only way I don't see that happening is if it's John Cena versus The Undertaker. One way or the other, somebody has to be following John Cena to SmackDown. In his tracks. Because I don't see anybody on that roster that would be a fun, exciting, big-time matchup for John Cena. Worth his time, anyway. Lashley? Or could it be The Undertaker? Are we being swerved? I feel it's going to be one of those two participants. I still feel mostly it's going to be Undertaker. If not, throw Bobby Lashley in there. I'll be intrigued on that. But that's the John Cena situation. That's probably the biggest news coming out of last night's Monday Night Raw. Now I want to get to the rest of Raw. This is where it could be a little bit of, I don't know, a clusterfuck. Because we start off with the women. Alexa Bliss is in the middle of the ring with Mickie James. Alexa Bliss cuts another badass heel promo. Love Alexa Bliss on the mic. And 9 months ago, I would have never told you that. Everybody complaining about Ronda Rousey on the mic. Trust me, that was Alexa Bliss when she got on that microphone at the beginning of her career. And I started thinking, oh, fuck, man. Like, what is she going to bring to the table? I hope it's something special. Because on the mic, she's got nothing. And guess what? Alexa Bliss now is the best women heel on the mic Other than Charlotte, which is for SmackDown. It's Alexa Bliss. So for Raw, the best woman on the microphone is a heel, and that's Alexa Bliss, easily. Alexa Bliss, hands down, the best on the microphone. Another great promo last night. Fucking Asuka comes down to the ring when Alexa Bliss is talking trash about Asuka. Asuka's just kind of staring her down. I like it, right? Asuka doesn't need the microphone. Kind of like Ronda Rousey. There's more mystique when they don't speak. Just give that fucking look. I like that. And Alexa Bliss played off that. Let me speak clearly for you. I know you don't understand English very well. That got a pop from the crowd. Like, oh, that's fucking low. And Alexa Bliss played on that. Mickey James played on that. I really did like that. And then all of a sudden, Nia fucking Jax comes down to the ring. Didn't she take care of you the night before, Nia Jax? Asuka did. Here comes Nia Jax to the ring. Nobody fucking knows why. Other than here comes Bayley, here comes Sasha Banks, and I'm counting 6 women in the ring. So automatically, my mind starts fucking going, yep, I see where this is going. This is going to be easy booking for WWE. There's 6 women in the ring. Let's make a match. So they go to commercial break. They come back from commercial break. And guess what? We have a 6-women tag match. Haven't seen that in a while. So they have a 6-women tag match. I believe it's Asuka who defeated Mickey James via her armbar, I believe. Correct? I believe Asuka picked up the win. But the main story here was that Sasha Banks went to tag in Bayley. Bayley jumped off the apron. Bayley's like, I'm not tagging you, motherfucker. And Sasha's looking like, seriously, dude? And Bayley basically had enough. Like, dude, you keep fucking me over. I've had enough. Here's the problem. These are not heel turns. And you're building up to something that by the time it actually happens, nobody's gonna give a fuck. A heel turn is like when Shawn Michaels took Marty Jannetty, raised his hand like they're friends again. Remember the barber shop? And if you guys have not seen this, I urge you to go to YouTube, Google it. Shawn Michaels turns on Marty Jannetty. Just type that in. It's one of my favorite moments when I was a fucking little BC motherfucking amplified. I'll be 105 years old. That'll still be one of my favorite fucking moments in all of WWE. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty were having problems. They shook hands. They put their hands in the air. Shawn Michaels super kicks Marty Jannetty. Takes him, throws him through the barber shop window, man. Right through the glass. It was one of the best heel turns ever. Unless they're going to build up to something like that, where they're having some issues and Sasha and Bayley finally work it out and Sasha turns her around and fucks her up. That's the only way this is going to work now. Because they dragged it on for way too fucking long. Sasha Banks needed to come out and just fucking turn on this motherfucker. I'm a heel. I don't want you anymore. This isn't about friendship. I want the strap. You go on Steve Austin's podcast and say everybody deserves and should have the strap because it's fun and everyone deserves it. Well, no. I'm the only one that deserves it. I'm the only one that should have the strap. The story tells itself. Instead, WWE is dragging us on like I stole your candy bar, so I'm taking yours. You cut me off, so I'm cutting you off. You were mean to me, so I'm being mean to you today. This is some childish shit. I hard tagged you. I'm jumping off the apron and not tagging you in. Man, this is not a heel turn. This is an sort of turn. I don't want an sort of turn. We're what, 5 or 6 weeks away from WrestleMania. If you're gonna have Bayley and Sasha, it's already not for the championship, so it's already kind of fucking tainted. That match, as epic as it can be, should be for the championship, because then they would allot them more time. If it's not gonna be for the championship, I don't know how much time they're really gonna give Bayley and Sasha to put on a damn good match. In fact, knowing Vince, the women are gonna be so stacked on the main event card for WrestleMania. Both women's championships, you're gonna have Ronda Rousey in a mixed tag. Bayley and Sasha could be on the fucking pre-show, the kickoff. So how are we going to give a fuck about this? Are you going to drag this on until they're both going into WrestleMania and no one's really a heel still? It's just kind of friends? Well, we're kind of friends, but we're having problems. We'll have a nonsensical, stupid match at WrestleMania to settle our differences. Or are you going to turn somebody heel like it should have been months ago? So we have the 6-women tag schmaz. I don't know, even more clusterfuck than Bayley and Sasha in that situation. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. And everyone says, BC, let it play out. I've been letting it play out for months. Nothing is happening in the storyline. And then on top of that, they're building Nia Jax up again like she's going to be involved in Asuka and Alexa Bliss's championship match. Here's the problem. Asuka has still never said she was going to face Alexa, but now it looks like that match is definitely going to happen. So now you have Ronda Rousey and Asuka on the same brand. First of all, SmackDown is getting screwed over. Where's their badass female? I mean, I love Naomi, love Charlotte, love Becky, but where's that real fucking, the badass, you can't beat me character like Asuka? Ronda Rousey could have been that. Or you flip them and Asuka goes to SmackDown. Because Asuka never really said who she was going to face. But last night was the absolute end line. That was the chance that Asuka had to come out and say it's going to be Charlotte. She didn't say that. She can't come out next week when there's only like 4 or 5 weeks left before WrestleMania, right? It had to be last night. Asuka said shit about Charlotte, so it looks like it is going to be Asuka and Alexa Bliss. And then they were building up Nia, like Nia, Michael Cole kept reiterating, Nia, as of right now, doesn't have her path in this championship match at WrestleMania. So they're basically setting us up for Nia Jax is going to be in this championship match. It looks like Vince is at least going to do a triple threat. Another one. It looks like it's going to be Asuka, Alexa, and Nia Jax. And who knows if Vince McMahon wants to add more females in there. We could see Mickie James in there. Maybe he throws Sasha, maybe it's all fucking of the Elimination Chamber participants for the women all in a championship match. Because Vince has nothing else. They're not creative. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Clusterfuck between Bayley and Sasha. Clusterfuck between Asuka, Alexa, and maybe now even Nia. How does Nia deserve another fucking shot? I think they announced next week Asuka's going to have a rematch with Nia. Why? Asuka beat Nia. Nia jumping Asuka after Elimination Chamber, that match, after their match, doesn't make her a beast, doesn't make her deserving of a championship. If that's the case, every time somebody loses, all they have to do is attack their opponent after the match. And then boom, you're a #1 contender again. Nia Jax doesn't have a path to... Why would Nia Jax? You ain't saying that about Mickie. Mickie James doesn't have a path to WrestleMania. Absolution doesn't have a path. No, Nia Jax doesn't have a path. Good! Fuck Nia Jax! Who the fuck cares if Nia Jax has a path? It makes... What are they doing with the women? This championship fucking clusterfuck. This was simplistic booking. Elimination Chamber. Sasha turns on Bayley. Sasha wins the championship. Or Bayley shocks the world. Does a little turn on Sasha. Doesn't mean to turn heel though. Just does a little turn. Like, hey, it's every woman for themselves. And Sasha says, fuck that bitch. You're no longer my fucking friend. Beats the fuck out of Bayley. Legit heel turn. You take the strap that either one of them won at Elimination Chamber, Bayley or Sasha, and you put that shit up at WrestleMania. Bayley versus Sasha for the championship on the same card as Nakamura and Styles. Is that too much to ask for? Shouldn't WrestleMania be about dream matches and epic matches? Yeah, we've seen Bayley and Sasha, but when you put them on the grandest stage, they showed what they could do, which is steal the fucking show. On the same card with Nakamura and Styles, fucking A, take my money. But no, instead we get a match of Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. With maybe Asuka in there, or Asuka and Alexa, and maybe Nia in there, and who knows who else. And that's not the only schmaz-looking match it looks like for WrestleMania. How about The Miz? Who, like Alexa Bliss last night, Miz went out there and hit a killer promo. When Miz gets fired up and he gets amplified, and he starts talking about how he's mistreated, and he gets no respect, that's the best Miz. We saw that with Dolph Ziggler about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, was it? When they were on SmackDown. And that's the best Miz. And somehow, fucking, he didn't have a championship match for WrestleMania. So he had to go to Kurt Angle's office, he said, Miz, and ask for a match at WrestleMania. How does the Intercontinental Champion, year after year it seems, or at least if not at WrestleMania, at big pay-per-views, there's a lot of times where the IC strap is not even defended, like the tag straps, am I right? It's almost like if you're a champion, guys, it's a negative to you. You actually lose when you're the champion. It's actually bringing you down if you're a champion, because it's like when you have a belt, you're not on the card. Alexa Bliss never has to defend her championship, Brock Lesnar, obviously, because of his contract, never shows up to defend his. I like the big fight feel, to be honest, in Brock. But that belt isn't really being defended all the time. Alexa's first time in 5 months at the Chamber. Tag titles are never defended on a consistent basis. IC strap, even WrestleManias, they've been missed. So he's got to go to Kurt's office. And Kurt says, well, maybe you'll have a match. You'll have a match tonight on Raw, and that match will determine if you have a match at WrestleMania. So he basically has to beg, the IC champion has to beg for a match at Mania. How does that make sense on any planet? So he sends Seth Rollins down there. Now, I think Seth Rollins versus Miz should be the way to go for the IC strap at Mania. So why would you fucking give that away on Monday Night Raw? And not just like a 5-minute match, like 10 to 15 minutes at least. And Seth Rollins defeats Miz. I still would love to see Seth Rollins capture the IC strap at Mania, but on the other hand, I just saw the match. And then after Seth Rollins beat Miz, Finn Balor comes down. And now I'm thinking, fuck, I see where Vince is going here. Obviously, another triple threat. Another one for WrestleMania. Finn Balor comes out and says, hey, I want a match against you, Miz. Miz is like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just had a match. And Kurt Angle gets on the Tron and says, you will fight Finn Balor right now, or you will not defend your championship at WrestleMania. The general manager of Monday Night Raw has the Intercontinental Champion, and he doesn't even want him on the show of WrestleMania. How does the champion have to beg for a match? If I was Miz, I would take my strap and hit the fucking bricks. So, Balor defeats Miz. Obviously, Seth Rollins just took him to the limit for 15 minutes. Balor looks like a fucking coward here. I'm going to take the scraps. So, Michael Cole is screaming, now Finn Balor is back in the IC title picture for Mania and might punch his ticket. So now it's looking like we have another triple threat. Another fucking schmaz. Because Vince, in lack of creative in the production meetings, are sitting around bouncing ideas off their stupid fucking dome pieces. And at the end of their 4-hour meeting, they decide, how about Brock and Roman? The same match they had a year ago. Nothing else is on the paper. We could put a bunch of superstars in schmaz matches to fill out the card, Vince. I love it. Book that shit. Belts mean nothing anymore. These straps mean nothing anymore, right? I talk about Bayley Sasha should be for the strap. But why does it matter? Belts don't mean shit, right? Sheamus and Cesaro last night. Titus Worldwide, who again, I think there's something there. Book them correctly. Don't put them in championship matches just to lose. And again, I don't think they should be winning championships yet, so don't put them in title matches with The Bar. Titus Worldwide should be being built up right now, not thrown into title matches where you know they're going to lose, which is what they did at Elimination Chamber. But then, in something that is not realistic at all, they got another title opportunity the very next night, last night on Raw. Can somebody explain to me how you lose a championship match and then the very next night, not only do you get another championship match, you get rewarded for losing, but Kurt Angle stacks the deck against the champions. Hey, you won last night? Well, they're going to face you again for the straps, and it's 2 out of 3 falls. So even if you beat them, you got to beat them again. You have to beat this team 2 more times to keep your championships. Again, I like Titus Worldwide. I'm all for building them up, not tearing them down. Throwing them in there with The Bar is tearing them down right now. A. And B, guys, it's not realistic. You can't just sit back and enjoy the show, BC, or it's entertainment, BC, or it's pro wrestling, BC, and not think, yes, but I need realism. You have to make me believe in what I am watching. If the champions just beat this team, why are they taking them on again for the straps the very next night where the deck is stacked even more against them? They got punished for winning their match at Elimination Chamber. So The Bar ends up beating Titus Worldwide twice in a row. So Titus Worldwide picks up 0 falls in the best 2 out of 3 falls match. Which, again, should have happened, obviously, but the match should have never even taken place. When you lose a championship match, don't you go to the back of the line? Now, granted, the Raw Tag Team Division doesn't have a long line, so just go to the fucking back. 2 matches in about 2 weeks, you'll be back there, maybe. But fuck, you lose the match and you get and then Michael Cole was screaming, or Corey Graves, one of them, they gotta be careful because soon it's gonna be their last opportunity. Soon? They just lost 2 nights in a row! One of them was 2 falls. In 24 hours, they lost 3 times to the Bar. What do you mean soon? Keep Titus Worldwide out of the title picture right now. Build them up. Don't tear them down. After the match, the Bar is talking about how they want a WrestleMania match. So they're basically begging Kurt Angle for a match. Champions! Champions of this fucking world! And they can't get on the card at WrestleMania. So they're basically begging Kurt Angle, and they come to the realization that I've been telling you guys for weeks. There is nobody left. They're like, we beat everybody. Now people are on fucking SmackDown teams. I mean, there's nobody else for us to fucking beat. So we want to be at WrestleMania, but we beat all the competition. We're a victim of our own success, is what Sheamus said. And their music played, and that was it. They just said, we want to go to WrestleMania, but we have no opponents. If I was WWE, I'd take Gallows and Anderson, 2 very capable motherfuckers that are very capable of getting over with the crowd if you give them the time of day and the chance. Gallows and Anderson can really get over. And they can go in the ring, but WWE wants to play them around with the Miztourage. Bo Dallas and fucking Curtis Axel. I almost called him Kurt Hawkins, my bad. Curtis Axel, the Miztourage. Take Gallows and Anderson and put them against the Bar and put them in a badass fucking match at WrestleMania and finally give Gallows and Anderson what they deserved. Hate that fucking word. But from the very beginning, when you talk tag teams and how weak the division is, how did Gallows and Anderson not hold those straps for a long time? WrestleMania. Put it on them. It's clear you don't want the Authors of Pain in there, and there'd be a heel tag team anyway, so that wouldn't really work. You ain't gonna put the fucking Revival in there, because the Revival wouldn't get over if they were on a card with a potato versus a fucking pineapple. The Revival still isn't getting over. Gallows and Anderson makes the most fucking sense. But again, Miz and Sheamus and Cesaro, they're all fucking begging to get on the card. For the Miz, it looks like it's going to be a triple threat schmoz. And for the women, it looks like they're going to have at least a triple threat schmoz. Oh, man. Then you went on to Roman Reigns. Roman fucking Reigns comes out, guys. Cuts a pretty fucking good promo after his stupidity. And again, it's not his fault, the stupidity. Creative writing gave him something really stupid to say. Can I just say, they pumped up for 2 hours. 2 fucking hours. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, stare down, face down, showdown. So I was actually a little intrigued. I was excited. Brock's in the house. I didn't know Brock was in Anaheim tonight. Brock is going to go face to face with Roman. One of the big segments I was looking forward to. And Roman goes out there and he goes, well, they weren't going to tell you, and I'm going to get in trouble for this, but Brock's not here, guys. Brock's not here. Something happened at the last half an hour, and he's not here. Neither is Paul. Are you listening to what you just said? And again, if creative told you to say that, that was the most fucking crooked, most tragic writing they could have gave you. It made 0 sense. They booked it up for 2 hours. The promoter, Vince McMahon and his fucking stooge squad, build up Brock when they knew Brock wasn't going to come out there, and then they told you not to say anything about it. If you build it up and you go out there, somebody's going to wonder, where is Brock? Somebody would have had to gone out there and say, sorry guys, Brock didn't show up. If there is a match between John Cena and Roman Reigns goes out there, John Cena never comes out, shouldn't somebody say something? So Roman acts like he's breaking news over here. They don't want me to say this, but Brock's not going to come out here tonight because, well, he's not here. Well, that's a big piece of fucking evidence you probably should have said from the beginning. You book it up for 2 hours just to say, Brock's not really here, guys. Gotcha, we trolled you. So WWE just promotes Brock to keep eyeballs on the product. I guess that's cool, man. You know what I mean? You could troll some people. You could fucking have a little bit of fucking clickbait, we like to call it. That's cool. But now you just ruined your credibility going forward. When you promote something going forward to WrestleMania, you better fucking deliver. Because not seeing Brock last night, that fucking sucked, man. I was looking forward to something real. Get us invested in Brock and Roman. Because again, at least 50% of the fan base does not want to see this shit. Instead, they just had Roman cut a promo. However, this was one of the best promos I've seen Roman Reigns cut. He actually put some bass in his voice and he fucking went out there and showed passion. Almost. I'm not giving him total credit here. He almost got amplified, but I don't think Roman Reigns has it in him to get amplified. But he almost did. He put some bass in there, man. He started to get a little bit loud. He started to show some passion. That was cool to see. And what he did, what Creative did, what Vince did, they had Roman go out there and throw Brock Lesnar under the bus. What do I mean? Everything that the internet and all the fans that hate Brock Lesnar say about him on the internet, they had Roman go out there and say. So they're trying to get Roman to gain the internet fan base. The same people that boo him, they want Roman to pick up those fans now so the boos won't be so loud. So they had him go out there and say, Brock is nothing but a part-timing bitch. And Brock is only here for the money. He doesn't care about you guys. When he was in Vegas, he was taking pictures with Dana White for the UFC. And he's going to leave you guys one day. And I bust my ass for all of you guys. Brock's a part-timer. Roman was just trying to get across the point that Brock is against you guys. I'm with you. And it's us versus Brock. So poor Brock isn't even there. And Roman is just throwing him under the bus, man. Calling him the part-timer. He's only there for the money. Hey, all of it's true. And Brock would not disagree with any of it. And Brock, just like Ronda Rousey, doesn't give a fuck what you think about them. But to go out there and totally throw him under the bus like that, just to try to raise Roman's star power and raise his reception with the fans, that shows you how far Vince McMahon is willing to go to get Roman Reigns over with the crowd. Because that whole promo was to dig down and bury down Brock and raise up Roman. Again, it was a good promo. It just didn't make sense from the beginning when he said, hey, I know we promoted Brock for 2 hours, but he's not actually here. And they didn't want me to tell you, so now I'm going to go back to the back. And that's what he said. He ended the promo with, I have to go over to the back now and take my get my ass chewed out. That's what he said. But I'm willing to basically stand up for all of you guys. He's basically trying to play like the hero now. I'm going to WrestleMania because I have to do this for all of you guys. That's smart by Vince, I guess, man. We'll see how many people buy into it, you know? A lot more wrestling fans have brains than you think. They might not actually buy into that shit. Braun Strowman took on Elias last night. This was like a little weird match. I blinked for like 2 minutes, guys. I had to do something. And when I came back, there was a fire extinguisher being sprayed, and I'm like, what the fuck? So the only thing I can think of is they're going to have Braun Strowman and Elias at WrestleMania, and that was just like the beginning of something. Again, I'm okay with that, but don't give it to us right now then, man, because I did see them wrestling for the first several minutes, and I'm like, okay, now I see their chemistry. But the fire extinguisher, Braun chases Elias up the staging area, which again, Braun Strowman is like a fucking cheetah. I swear, he's the fastest man on the planet, and he's huge. So he chases Elias to the back, but Elias they're like in the parking lot. And Elias is able to escape. And here's a fucking limousine pulls up. I'm thinking, hey, maybe this is someone cool, or at least Vince McMahon. It ends up just being Triple H and fucking Stephanie. So another troll job. Vince is doing this new thing where he's doing a little bit of clickbaiting and troll jobbing now to try to get you to stay on the product. Hey, whatever, man. If it works, it works. We'll see if it works in the ratings. But Elias was chasing... Braun was chasing Elias, and that ended their segment. A limousine pulls up. We go to commercial. When we come back, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are hitting the ring. This brings out... who was it? Kurt Angle was in the ring. And then Ronda Rousey shows up. So now you have Triple H, Stephanie, Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey. Kurt Angle spends the next several minutes apologizing to Ronda and to Triple H and Stephanie and telling Ronda what I said at Elimination Chamber was a lie. It was all a lie. I've had a double flu or some shit that he said. My mind wasn't there. I'm delirious. I don't even know what I said at Elimination Chamber. I don't even know what I was doing at Elimination Chamber. And you have Triple H and Stephanie going, see, thank you, Kurt. See that, Ronda? Everything is just a big misconception. Now that we're all on the same page, we can all go about our business. One big happy family. Stephanie goes to leave with Triple H. Ronda goes, hold on, that clears up everything else. What about the slap you gave me? I want you to apologize to me now. Stephanie goes up to Ronda Rousey's face like she's going to smack her again. But instead, Stephanie apologizes over the top. Stephanie apologizes in the most non-believable way that even Ronda Rousey was like, really, bitch? This is a little bit too much. You could tell it was fake. You could tell that Triple H and Stephanie have a plan. And that's intriguing to me. It's going to be fun going forward. What wasn't fun was how they ended Raw last night. Because it wasn't anything epic. Triple H and Steph go to leave. Triple H turns around and nails Kurt Angle. One punch. Kurt Angle gets dropped like he just got a sledgehammer to the fucking forehead. It was just a punch. Kurt Angle sold that like a motherfucker. Sold that like a champ. Kurt Angle, you still got it. And so Triple H drops Angle. I'm like, okay, that can't be the ending, right? There's got to be more. Ronda Rousey has to get, I understand not having Ronda get physical again. You have 5 or 6 weeks to WrestleMania. You can't have all the physicality now. But a punch from Triple H to Kurt Angle. Michael Cole's like, what was that about? And they fade to black and Raw goes off the air. With Ronda Rousey trying to help Kurt Angle back to his feet and Triple H and Stephanie are going up the rampway. Raw goes off the air. It plants another seed, yes. It looks like it's going to be Ronda and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie, WrestleMania. I'm all into that. I'm intrigued going forward because Triple H and Stephanie have a devious plan. And Ronda Rousey is going to have to overcome it. And where does Kurt Angle fit into this? So I realized that seed had to be planted. But could it be a little more epic than just a punch? And Raw goes off the air? I don't know. In a Raw that I thought would be more epic, I definitely needed it to end more epically, and it didn't for me. Here's my problem, guys. So that was Monday Night Raw in a nutshell, by the way. Couple of other little things here and there. My problem is this. The cool thing is, you saw what WrestleMania season brings, right? Look at all that was being promoted last night and tell me you weren't getting a little excited. John Cena's hitting the ring and talking about his plans for WrestleMania. We all thought maybe the seed was going to hugely be planted for The Undertaker. And it kind of was. He did mention it. Even though he said it's impossible, I still think that could be a little swerve job. So you had Cena being promoted, and we all thought, oh shit, is this where The Undertaker comes out? You had the promotion of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon calling out Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. That's fucking huge. You had the face-off they were promoting between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Then you had the fallout from the women. What is actually going to happen? All of these things being promoted, that's a huge fucking Raw. And those are usually how Raws are, and even SmackDowns are going toward WrestleMania. Because you have all the big matches that they're trying to get out there and continue their stories. So that was cool last night. You saw the beginning of WrestleMania season and how they promote it. And the excitement for it. What was bad, what was actually horrible, was the execution. There actually was no face-off between Roman and Brock. Brock wasn't even there. John Cena hints at Undertaker, but then says, you know what? No, I'm going to go over to SmackDown, and we'll continue it there. So it was a little seed, but it wasn't a big seed. And then, obviously, fucking Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, Triple H, Stephanie. It was another little seed, but nothing really big. The chamber is behind us. We really want to get into WrestleMania season. I wanted it to start off with a bang last night. It did not. It actually fired off with a dud. We need the fucking bang next week. We need next week's Raw to really deliver. Get everybody who's not fully on board with WrestleMania, get them on board. That starts tonight with John Cena on SmackDown. Bobby Lashley? Could it be the fucking Undertaker? Breezango handicap match. Who is John Cena? Who's going to step up to John Cena? Who could it be? I'm still thinking Undertaker, man. We'll hold off until we actually see. For now, guys, the Amplified man's cashing the fuck out. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the SmackDown review and reaction. For now, we're going to kick the rest of Tuesday's ass, starting with the biggest motherfucking coffee in the world. That's right. I'm going to make them fucking put a bunch of cups together and have one like this, man. We're going to manufacture something cool over at Starbucks right now. It's going to take 25 minutes to build this motherfucker, but I'm going to have Julie over there, one of my favorite baristas, over on First Ave. I'm going to make her build something special for the Amplified Man. B motherfucking C! WrestleMania season has begun! We got to kick this thing into high gear. For now, the Amplified Man will check you later.